I forgot what it was. 0.1, 0.1 at 6. Well, let's do it again. 0.1 at 6. Wax capacitor. Here we go. Capacitor value. Oh wow, we got a 0.25 right there. Let's see what kind of leakage is this little dude has. Well, it's in the order of milliamps. Is a 55 ohm or 54k ohm resistor going down to a 40k ohm resistor, 35k ohm resistor. Look at that. Not very good, is it? Greater than 20 mils. So, there you go. Y'all wanted to know. There you go. I told you. Shouldn't turn this thing off with a component across it. Here we go. I don't want y'all looking at me. Boy, y'all crooked. Alright, we're right here. Can't see a thing. I can't either. Right there. Here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Right here. I should kick the back of this thing up. There we go. Right there. Alright. Y'all can see what I'm doing, more or less. Okay, let's quit fiddle farting around. Let's get this done. My wife will be home any minute now, and I'm going to have to go. Alright, got it in there on that side. Throw some solder on it. Oh, wrong solder. Grab the big stuff. That's a lot prettier connection. Run this up through here. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to do this. We'll do it anyway. Well, the remnants of that ground side of that capacitor still on the board here, so. Trying to get it off. Like I cared a little bit. That's what's left of it. All right. Old Big Bertha, boy, I love that thing. I bought it somewhere in Pensacola at a flea market years ago. It's been a good soldering iron. My daddy worked for drive-in Winfield, Parkway Drive-In. Very partial to drive-ins. I'm also very partial to 35mm motion picture equipment, specifically RCA and Brinkert. RCA bought the Brinkert line. I love it. I love Brinkerts. I wish I had the room and the money, I would still do that. I don't have. It takes a lot of money to collect 35mm equipment nowadays, especially the film equipment. Everybody has the equipment. They want to charge you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for the mess, and you know the films, to get a good copy of a film costs multiple thousands. It's a film collecting, 35mm film collecting is not a game for the poor, for the working man. Alright, got that capacitor in, so we've done one good thing. So let's get this next one out. The 0.01, which is what we have in a new stock. We can get that bad boy out. think. Let me clean the solder up on that. Premature firing. Always had that problem. There's another lead or something going off right there. I don't know where that came from. Something else on this. Don't belong. Must be the lead. Yeah, that's a lead from the old component. There it goes. Got to clean all that mess out, guys. That's what I try to do here at Sam's Radio and TV, is keep things neat. Yeah, just cleaning up that terminal strip. Alright, we've got one in there. This is the .01. It's another orange drop that's got the back end coming out. Now we're over here to the other .1, the conjunction of the 100K to ground, the .1 200, and this .01. So, got a lot of stuff going on here. I think I'm just going to pull all this out at one time. I'm going to undo the 100K resistor. Okay, got the 100K undone on one side of it. The solder just no. My wife probably home, but I'm trying to get these done. Alright, let's see if we can persuade this bad boy here to come out. Got it loose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Got some of it out, look at there. Get that wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See it? I don't know if you can see it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I find that's a very effective approach to desoldering this stuff. Just get the solder hot enough for it to just get loose. The component lead to just get loose. Wiggle it around till it cools off. And then you can manipulate it however you want to. So let's go back to this other terminal we just got that configuration off of. Clean it up. Something else on there too. Look like another wire that needs to come loose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I love that. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's see if I can get that off there. Thinking about putting you guys on the tripod. Moving y'all to the other side. I kind of like this angle. I hope you guys do too. I don't want y'all getting mad at me. Some guy got mad at me, scolding me. But as I've said before, You don't want to get these terminal strips too hot either. When you do that, it makes them, it damages them. It could have a, you could cause it to weaken the insulation down, or what do you call it? The breakdown voltage. It affects the breakdown voltage of these things, and sometimes it causes issues later on. All right, there's a 1 meg in here doing something. I don't know what it's doing. Let's see what it measures. It measures 1.2. That's close enough. Here is the here's that 100K right there. That's another one that's going into the ground. It's hard to see. There's a 15K right here. Let's go ahead and measure that. That's the one we worked on yesterday. It measures 17. That's not bad. 820 on them right here. 824. So that's good. It's 68K right here. That is measuring 77. That will have to be changed out. But that's another capacitor here that we got to change out anyway. So we'll change that resistor out when we do this capacitor. So far, everything else checks kind of okay in here. Clean it up a little bit. So we got to get to this resistor right here, and I'm going to have to get down on my knees to do that. So I'm going to pause y'all, and when I get done with this, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what the end result of that section looks like. This is going to get involved and boring, so I'll bring you back. Oh wow, that was an adventure and a half. I'll turn all my stuff off. I had to go here. It's almost 5:45. I'm sure my wife is ready for me to come in the house. Anyway, let's go through what we did here. Now don't think about this right here. I've run out of time. I'll do this if I have time tomorrow. Anyway, here's 0.1. This is one of them brown drops, as I've heard people call them. So this is replaced. This is a good capacitor. I got that out of that Revere tape recorder here a while back that I gutted. Another one that came out of the Revere, and I don't see a thing at all wrong with this installation here. They're good capacitors still. They still got life in them. They're a hell of a lot better than the ones I took out. And by the way, here's my parts bag with the old parts and stuff like that. So filling it up. Anyway, here's the 0.01. Here's the 0.1. I had to change this 100K. Make it look better, and then I had to change this 2.2 meg right here because it was down in this ground right here, which is a pain in that. But I had to, if I say so myself, that was a lot of work. I don't know why it sucked a lot of heat. So I wound up having to just bow up on this thing. But anyway, all that's been changed. This whole circuitry here has been changed. I cleaned up this whole area here. This resistor is good. This one's good. The capacitor here's out of the way. I haven't got to this, like I said. I'll get to this tomorrow if I have the time. But we'll change out. We're going to clean this up right here. You see this right here? I don't know if that's supposed to be that way. I think it is because I look like a jumper right here. But we're going to clean all this stuff up here, move some of this, push these wires in real carefully, and then we're going to change this capacitor here, and we're going to change this capacitor, if we can find one, this capacitor, and clean this whole area up right here. And so that's where I'm at this stage, so I guess I'll see you on the next segment. Alright, next day, continuing on with this Dumont RA164A1. Still working in the vertical section here. Get this light out of the way. I've been busy. I've cleaned up a lot of this stuff. I still hadn't done this right here. That's power supply wiring right there. I hadn't done nothing with that, but I'm used to some brownies that I had right here. Some brown drops, as they call it, or chocolate drops, some people call it. I hadn't cleaned my mess up yet, but they're perfectly good. I just went ahead and used them because I had them, and after I did all that, I got to digging in another one of my boxes, and I found a whole pile of these orange drops. But I'm not going to put them in there. These work, they're fine, you know, may not be the most aesthetically pleasing, but hell of a lot better than what was in there. Anyway, I'm doing the vertical section right now. I've got pretty much all these capacitors in this section done, except for this one right here. Most of these resistors check good. This 820 is about 100K high, believe it or not. It's an 820 measured 920, but I left it in there because that goes to the vertical hold. And I made a note of it on my notepad right here, R270 820, that I'll go ahead and get a replacement for. And also this, I hadn't put this on my notepad yet, but this 68K right here, which let's see, remember which one that is. 68K R243. I got to put that on there too. It's up in value. Neither one of those will affect the operation of this, but they're out of tolerance enough to where I don't trust them. So in the vertical circuits, you got to have everything pretty close. But anyway, last thing that I've got to do that I know of in the vertical circuit is right here. I've got this .0022 right here that I got to change. The old orange drop. It's going to what, pin 2 of the this tube here, so that's going to be part of, I think that's a sync separator. So it's not on this schematic here, it's on a different one. But anyway, I'm going to change that one right there. Change that one out real quick, clean all this up a little bit, and clean my bench up a little bit. It's a mess. Kind of back up, punt a little bit, just clean up, get my mind reoriented. But yeah, I'm almost done with that circuit there, and then I'll regroup, see if I can figure out what other capacitors that I have, go ahead and try to put them in. And the other place that I stopped was right here on this vertical output yesterday. It was 1500 ohms from the plate lead. 1500 ohms from the blue wire right here, this blue wire. Oh, well, it says 1500 ohms right there. Sure it is. I didn't see that yesterday, and it measured 4.2 there. I did not see that yesterday. Well, never mind. I'm glad I see that. I figured that was right, but I wasn't sure. Anyway, I'm just changing capacitors. It takes a long time to get this stuff right. Some of these are buried and hard to get to, but a lot of resistors on here you would think was really out of tolerance, but there's just not that many ratio-wise. So anyway, I'm going to change this capacitor, get this vertical circuit done. I don't remember. I know half of this is the vertical oscillator, and I guess maybe the other half might be. I think that's a separator. I don't remember. Let me see here. Let me get my book out here. Let's have a look. Second sync clipper and vertical oscillator. That's what that is. I knew it had something to do with sync. Anyway, that's what I was doing. Something else I noticed right here. There's a P right there. P. 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 I'll be dang. It tells you where your foil side is. I'll be John Brown. I've never had a schematic do me that way. I'll be damned. Excuse my language. Pin 8. Let's go to pin 8 of this tube, which is this one. I'm sorry, this one right here. Well, that's a cathode. Well, I got the cathode right. Let's see, 8. Let's see, 9, 8. 6. Got a 1.2 meg on it. 9, 8, 7, 6. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Alright, well that says the 1.2 meg right there. There's 2 resistors. I'm sorry, 2 capacitors. Both of those. So one of these is backwards. This one's backwards. I'll be damned. I was putting them in like they came out because I had no other. I did not notice those markings right there. I'll be John Brown. I'll be dang. Hey, let's just think about this. This grid of this tube right here is very high impedance as compared to this plate. So this is the lower impedance, is where the outside foil normally goes. So like if you look right here, why do they have the outside foil here? Should be, that makes no sense. I'm just gonna leave it like it is. So think about that later. Anyway, let me change these stupid capacitors here and get on with it. Alright, yet another day has passed. And what are we doing today? Just a second here. Don't mind my hair, I forgot to bring my hat out to the shop. Yes, this is Sunday, the 6th, I think, of August. Yesterday, my wife and I went to Kilgore, Texas to I believe it's called the Kilgore Broadcasting Museum, or the Texas Broadcasting Museum. A couple of gentlemen there, took me and my wife on a tour of this thing, and it is amazing. Got a lot of Dumont stuff. Got a lot of RCA stuff, some very historic stuff. Nothing what I expected. I expected to drive up and it'd be this little barn, but it was a very nice building, well kept, well organized, and was there 2+ hours. I got a t-shirt, coffee mug. I didn't take a lot of pictures. I didn't really feel like videotaping or nothing like that, so we'll go back. But it's really nice. If I can see to it, I'll put a link in the descriptions down there about the museum. But anyway, let's get back to the project at hand. Don't know how all this stuff's going to edit out, or I don't know how I'm going to do this. But anyway, I've been replacing capacitors right here. This resistor here needs to be replaced. I've got it noted. I need to put a marker on it so I'll know it's bad. But this one needs to be replaced, and this one was not quite right. That's in line with the vertical hold. This is on the vertical oscillator section right here. This resistor here reading about 100K high. It's a 820 ohm, measure 920. Go figure. And I believe I left off in this circuit right here, which is part of the sync separator system here. So that's where I left off on that right there. So I got to finish that up. And then I want to get down and see what I can do about changing some of these. I've got one capacitor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 capacitors in there. Count, make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 capacitors down in this section right here, and 1 here, so that's 6 capacitors. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still got to have 6 capacitors to go. 7. Excuse me, 7. Got 1 here. Then I got 2 electrolytics here to do, so that's 7, 8, 9 capacitors. Then I got these little resistors here to change out, and then I also have the tuner I've got to do. And then one of the next things that and here's another one. So what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 capacitors to go, not counting the electrolytics. So I got a 2-section electrolytic here that I got to do, and a 4-section right here. And this one I might be able to just replace some of these, or maybe just radials. Gotta look and see. But anyway, still got a little bit to do. Gotta look in this here, the tuner. I gotta open it back up and look at those resistors. Oh my God, I wish I would track myself. Look in the tuner and see what I can do about replacing those resistors. And instead of just cutting them and unsolder them from the terminals and all that stuff, I'm just going to clip the leads and then just bend the connections, because up in this tuner I really don't want to mess up nothing, and I just want to cut what's in there, put the new ones in there, replacement resistors in there, and get back out of it quick as possible. I've already cleaned the tuner, but I'll take it apart again because I'm not afraid of it. So we got those capacitors to do, got more resistors to check, tuner, resistors, the vertical output transformer checked good. I haven't checked the filter. I think I did the original video on this. I think I checked that. And I'm just going to kind of spot check these controls here, I think. I'm just going to spot check these controls and spot check these coils. I think I did that too. I think the coils are fine. Then once I get all of that done right there and get everything like I want it, it'll be time to get on the other side and go ahead and clean this thing up a little bit, get all the grime off of it and everything. It'll be time to do a flyback replacement. I have a brand new flyback that smells really good, still new in the box. It is right up there. Can't wait. Still looking for a yoke. Anyway, you want to watch me change some capacitors? Well, by the way, I got a whole pile of parts for that guy. The money pit / eBay find / what the heck am I doing / can I make it work / oh my God, I'm so stupid. Anyway, that I want to do that tomorrow. So let's work on these capacitors here and what we can do, and let's have a little more circuit fun, huh? All right. One guy says not to zoom in too much, but you do at least want to see what I'm doing a little bit, right? I got to reach across you a minute. I was watching Mr. Carlson this morning. He was overhauling a I got solder on there. He was overhauling a Textronics. He got I think a 503. You know, my ex-father-in-law worked for Textronics, okay, so I know a little bit about things at that plant or the places that, you know, he worked from Textronics and all this. So, they're well-built machines, especially the old stuff. They're just really well-built, built like tanks. Hewlett-Packard makes some decent stuff, but Textronics, in my opinion, you know what opinions are like. My opinion, a Textronic is circuit design, as far as the layout, is just spectacular, worlds above anything else. You know, the ceramic, all the ceramic connections that they used, and I noticed he was showing this morning that you know, when you buy this thing, you get a manual with it. It tells you everything about it, all the service information, collect calibration, all this kind of stuff. But also at the bottom of it was a little roll of special silver solder that you're supposed to use on those ceramic connections. That's really cool. So let me get my glasses. Let's see. I need to get back on this right here. That's where I was at yesterday. Now I don't remember, or the day before yesterday. Now I don't remember where I was at, because I got 100K, I mean a 1 meg here that I got to do something with. And I think it went here, so I got to get my schematic and remember what the heck I've done. So I don't believe I have that particular circuit on my schematic. So let me go get it. Alright. I had to go back in the house and sneak by my grandbaby. Hard to sneak by. But anyway, I found where the 1 meg was. It was on the, what do you call that? The sync phase inverter. Anyway, it's 1 meg goes over there to pin 2. The sync phase inverter has a 0.01 microfarad capacitor, which we just changed. I think it was the last one we changed. But I did not put the 1 meg resistor back in place with it. So that's a boo-boo I made. So it's not easy, it's not hard to remedy. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I just don't have a whole lot of time to work on it right now. I got to go pick up a lawnmower. I'm paying a yard guy to do my yard, but chose poorly in the selection of this guy. It's a lot of drama unfolded. But right now I'm not able to use a push mower, but I can use a ride lawnmower. And this thing's only like 4-year-old Husqvarna. Nothing wrong with it, except that they just don't want to use it no more. They want to use a yard guy. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. Now we've got the slight error corrected. Everything looks good. So guess find another victim maybe. Look up here, there's no capacitors that I can, except for right here. 0.003 right there. So I don't know what I'm doing with these 0.015s. No 0.47 right here. I don't know what I'm doing with those. What I was smoking. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's looking really good though. It's looking a lot better than it was. This looks like crap, but once I get rid of these capacitors here, wipe some of this wax down, like this wire here goes to the yoke, but they got it up and wrapped down around, and I'm going to see if I can fix that. So I got a lot of work to do down here. So there's a 0.5 right here at 200. I think I got a 0.47 over there somewhere that we can replace that with. That's no problem. There's a 0.03 right there. Let me get my alcohol pad out. Just about due for some more. What was I going to do? Yeah, it looked like a 0.03 at something. Yeah, it's a thing about this wax, and I've noticed this, is this wax. These alcohol pads seems to dissolve it. Really strange. Anyway, 0.03 at 600, so I need a 0.47 and a 0.033. Then here's a 0.25 right here, so that's those three. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start over and rewrite my piece and parts book a little bit. Start over. a lot of confusion in here. So need a 0.5 at 200, and a 0.25 at like 600. Yeah, 0.25 at 600. Weird, one's a 200 and the other's a 600. Okay, and then a 0.03. And that 0.03 is a 600 volter. So there's 3 of them out of 100. Got another one here, it's a 0.16. I think I've got one of them. Alright, got another one here, it's a 0.005 at whatever. Well, just may as well 600 volt. Why not? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got all those identified. There's 2 more here that I've got to order, which are the line caps. I'll have to get safety caps for that. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's one here. A 0.15 at 6 microfarad at 600, and I think that's what this guy is. Nope. I think that's what this is. I believe it is. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 identified. Okay. 0.15. We got 6 identified actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then going up here, we got, I think this is the 0.01, and I think I'm just going to use this 0.05. So that's probably where the other 0.015 come from. Yeah, that's what that looks like. I don't know if that's a 0.01 or 0.02. See, I think that's a 0.01. I don't know, it keeps changing. Nope, it's a 0.02 at 600. Okay. So 3, 6, 7 capacitors. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Then looking around, we got another one here. It's a 0.003, 0.003 microfarad, 600. I think. Yeah, 600. Okay. Then there's an electrolytic there. I can't see the value, but boy, they got that one in there. And then a 4 micro. Tell you, let's look at this one right here. 0.01 at 2, 0.01 microfarad, 200 volts. Alright, then there's one on the yoke, but we have that already. That was an 047, I remember that one. 047 microfarad, 200 volts. We're going to put a 600 in there because that's what I have. I got a crap load of 0.047s. Don't know what that is right there. I'm fixing to have to go and pick up that lawnmower. That is a 5 microfarad. And they got a 5 microfarad here and a 4 microfarad there. Go figure. I can tell you right now it's going to get what, either 2 4s or 2 5s. I can't see where that would make any difference. I don't know why they would go like that anyway. Big old spray, big old fat spray down here. Got that wax string on it. This one's a 10 at 350. Woo, boy. Well, let's see. Unless I forgot something, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 capacitors to do. 13 capacitors and a handful of resistors. And I guess I'm going to cut this one short right now, and I'll get back on it hopefully in a little while. And we'll see what we can dig up, some parts and stuff. And you know what? No, we'll do all the rest of this stuff in a little while. I'll bring you back. All right, guys. Working on cleaning the chassis for the Dumont RA164 black and white television. And I started over here as an experiment. This is what the grunge looks like right here. Pretty grungy. Pretty grungy. But this is what I've been working on for the last 10 minutes. Right there. Really a remarkable change between here and here. And really all I'm using is simple green. Using simple green. I'm using, I don't remember what the number is of this little green pad. Just putting some in this little cup right here and using that to scrape very lightly here and just doing little sections at a time so I can control it. And we'll kind of do this area here, then I'll branch off to this section, then a little section, do it in little sections, and working out really good. Let's see if I can make this work. Let's see here. Loosen this up a little bit. There you go. And somebody got on to me the other day, so I'm going to get y'all as wide as this camera will let me get out. So let's get to work. Let's go ahead, pull this 5U4. I've went ahead and replaced all the bad tubes in this thing. There were like five tubes that were bad in here, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 tubes. Which I think is amazing. Alright, so let's continue on this way. It's just nasty. Very hot out there today. It's been like that here for the last week or two. It's just heat wave down here, I guess. However, it is summer. Yep, it is summer. Sometimes summers get hot. I wish some of these radios that I've restored cleaned this easy. Got a little rusty spot right there we've got to work on. I've ordered all my capacitors from Mouser. All my resistors and capacitors. There was one thing that gave me an issue on this TV. And it was a capacitor between the boost voltage on this thing and the 260 volt supply. There was a 10 microfarad 350 volt capacitor in between those two voltage rails. And it said on the component itself that it was a semi-polarized capacitor, which I think in modern speak that would probably mean the same thing as a non-polarized. However, according to Mouser, I could not find anything that high voltage. So I've never encountered quite such an animal as far as that capacitor is concerned. I mean, it's either polarized or it's non-polarized. So what I've done is I've ordered two 20 microfarad 350 volt capacitors, as well as a regular 10 microfarad 350 volt capacitor. I'm going to put the 10 microfarad capacitor in there first. Let it run, see if it blows up, it blows up. I'll put the other capacitor in there, but if it works fine, I'm going to leave it. Yeah, this cleaning up nicer than I thought. It's just going to take a lot of elbow grease to do this. These little cups here, they come with liquid clothes washing detergent that my wife buys, and she just had a cabinet full of them. You know, she's going to throw them away. I said, yeah, them things make great little cups for working on stuff. So there you are. Need to be able to scrub this a little bit more right here. I'm not going to get too perfect with this because, you know, there's a point of no return, as I'm very fond of saying. Still a lot better than it was. I got the door open to the shop here, and it's like 185,000 degrees outside. See if we can knock some of this corrosion off right here. Getting a little orange off of it. I could get some vinegar put on here, but I think if I just... I'm not sure what caused that, because this set did not have mice in it. But it was directly underneath the second anode, and let me show you that. This is what's left of the second anode wire right here. This is where it plugged into the side of the CRT, and the boot's completely rotted away. And look how rusty that is. I believe that rubber decomposed and actually melted, and it did that damage, because that's about the only that I see in here. It may not be that, but that's what I see. So I'm just going to keep scrubbing along here. I might go get some coming off, looks like. See something down there, it looks like shiny. Well, approaching this as people do, you know, working on car bodies, auto repair shops, you know, where you wet sand something. That's how I'm approaching this. Yes. See, some shiny has come out of there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Well, I'm happy with that. May have to rinse out my... I'm just going to keep at it. I mean, it's just a bunch of boring stuff. It's going to take me a while to get this clean. gonna take a lot of patience and elbow grease. I've got a little bit of elbow grease, but I don't have a lot of patience. As some of my longest channel's viewers know, probably figured out by now. I got a whole handful of parts that's coming, like I said a few minutes ago, from Mouser. I'm looking forward to the day I actually apply power to this thing. Say I'm looking forward to it, I'm not sure. It's coming off. Thinking about getting a little bit of my let me clean this cup out. Today is one of my son's birthday, so we'll be going a little over an hour. We'll be going to celebrate it with him. He wants McDonald's. I don't know if that's where we're going or not, but that's what he wants. Let me go run to my other shop real quick, and I'm going to get some, I might get a little bit of vinegar put on that and see if it'll eat that. I'll be right back. You know, I could have just paused that video. Anyway, I didn't have any vinegar, so what I did is I just got a little bit of navel jelly. I'm going to get me a little small brush. Just put a little bit on there, and we're just going to play with it just a little bit. I'm going to find out where all my brushes are. Here we go. Don't want to get too crazy with this stuff, because it'll make a mess. It's a pain in the butt to clean up, but just a tiny bit on the brush here. I'm just going to sprinkle it on there, so it don't get everywhere. And I'm just rolling it around. I'm just manually working it in there. I'm going to let it set for a couple of minutes. Put a little bit more on there. Looks like it's breaking up. I can't be sure. That'd be good if we could get all that off of there. Just gonna kind of let it sit there for a minute. I love this because see, we've got a brush holder on it. See it? That is so cool. I'm gonna come over here and get something. I don't remember what it was now. Oh well, guess what it poured it. Back it up a little bit. Yeah, it's doing a good job. Just don't want to get a lot on here. It's a pain to, like I said a minute ago, it's a pain in the butt to clean off. That is doing fantastic. I'm going to wipe it off. Oh, I know what I'm going to get. New fresh cloth. Hey, I like these bag of rags that you can get at your home store. Well, that made a big difference right there. It just stains. If you leave it on there too long, it stains things. So let's give it another treatment now of simple green. Yeah, sometimes it just takes elbow grease. I'm not looking to make this a showroom finish. I don't think it's, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than it was. Yep, heck of a lot better than it was. Wow, the rest of it needs to look like that. So now that's going to make a bad impression of me. Now I'm going to have to do this whole thing like that. Oh man, that's the only problem with this. I may have to get some vinegar. Let's just do a little test coat right here, just a little bit. I just wiped a little bit over that. Let it set for a minute. I'm going to scrub it here. I don't know. This is the area right here that we've been working on for the last few minutes. I'm not sure what I want to do with the rest of this. I think I'm just going to clean it, do it under one layer first, and I'll decide, I'll see what it looks like overall, and I'll come back and maybe deep clean it a little bit more. But got a lot of work ahead of me here. It's not going to happen overnight. So no use boring you with them details. So I guess when I have something to show you, I'll bring you back. Alright, my nose was running, air conditioner's on, got the door closed because it's just gotten real too hot in here, but I don't have the navel jelly in here anymore. All I've got is the simple green in here. But this is what I've gotten so far right here. Started over here, and you see what happens when I use that navel jelly. This is kind of a first pass. I'm going to come back and beautify this up a little bit. I got that big old ugly stain out there. It's got a little bitty one right there. A couple of them right here. One right here I'll have to work on, and these little spots right here. But and I see these things protruding from the chassis in a couple of places. There's one here. What did I see? There's another one. Now I know I'm not imagining this stuff. There's one here. I thought there was a couple more in here. I really did. I guess this is a test point or something. So you ain't got to get underneath and measure voltages, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I still got this whole area right here that I'm just going down this way. Back up a little bit. Going this way, kind of going this way, and going this way. And I'm thinking I'm going to take this out. There's nothing stopping me from taking this out now. Other than the socket. But I could just take this out and lay it out of the way. But I don't know. That the wire is pretty firm. If I move that wire, it's going to break, and I have to replace it. So I have to think about that. I might just take off this cup here and this doorknob cap right here so I can get to that. I don't know. It just takes a lot of work. And then I still got this area right here, the IF strip. And I think this IF strip will just come out, but I'm not sure. So that's going to be a little bit more detailed right there. Then I got the tuner strip too to do. So I got a lot to do. I'm going to try to get, I'll probably have another 20 to 30 minutes before wife comes and I got to go. So looking a lot better. Looking a lot better. Alright, one other thing that I'm doing with this thing here is as I'm cleaning this this stuff and getting this mess everywhere in the tube sockets and all that mess right here, I'm just using some CRC QD electronic cleaner. I'm just going in and spraying the tube socket just to blow anything that might be inside there out. I'm not too worried about the bottom right now, because I'm going to go back and spray some inside when I get done with all this, and that should rinse a lot of this mess out. I mean, what do, you know? Anyway, that's not bad. I mean, it's got some, I mean, honestly, I didn't like the corrosion there. I'd rather have the corrosion than the nasty, if that makes any sense to you. So, still a lot better. It's shiny now, gotten all that, a lot of that, I don't know. I don't know if this set was exposed. It was in a barn. I really don't know. I think it was in a barn. But I got to take this little off, this right here off. I got to take that little 1/4-inch screw. I got to take that off, take the cup off, get this out of the way. And I'm going to finish, we're going to clean this section right here. Then I'm going to try to clean that section right there. Then the top of this guy. That'll be done. Then we'll work on the IF strip right here. And once I get all that done, then we'll work on cleaning this tuner. That'll be fun. So that's where I'm at, and then I got to figure out what to do with these all these controls here. Anyway, I'll bring you back. Alrighty, it's already 12 minutes after 5, so I'm fixing to have to shut her down. Here's where I got so far. Hadn't done the back yet, but look at there. I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than that. This actually cleaned off rather nice. It was just dusty inside. It already had a cover on it, so it was pretty well protected, so I wasn't going to mess with this a whole lot. But the doorknob cap here, I cleaned it off with alcohol like we do in our broadcast transmitters. Just used isopropyl alcohol, or you know, and just cleaned it off. Good clean. Capacitors like being clean. Cleaned all this off. However, I've run out of my favorite. Some of my second best favorite stuff is the electrical cleaner. So I gotta go pick up another can or two of that. I'm going to spray this whole chassis out under the bottom when I get done with this. The one thing that I did not do right here, so I'm just going to rinse it all out with electronic cleaner. This stuff flashes pretty good. So I'm done for today. I don't know if I get back to it tomorrow or not. I don't know, but that's it for me for now. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Alright guys, it's the next day and I'm multitasking.
Magnifying glasses.
Watching Shango here on YouTube, or listening to him. And I'm also working on my Dumont. In the day, I'm working, I've got everything else cleaned up about as good as I want to clean it. I've cleaned all the good tubes. I cleaned it off and look at them. I love the looks of shiny tubes. So all these tubes are good, ready to go, except for the 5U4. It's a little weak. This is a replacement. The one that was in it was dead. But there's the damper tube, the horizontal oscillator right here, the damper tube, horizontal oscillator, the horizontal output goes here. The yoke goes here. And there's a socket that goes right here. That's going to be for the high voltage rectifier. Let's see, the audio output, the AF amplifier. I forgot what this tube was. This is the AFC diode right here, the vertical output right there. The sync tube right there, video, and I think an IF amp right there, then the IF strip. I pulled the tuner. Tuner's over there out of the way, but right now I've got, let's see, Simple Green going at it again. I've got an artist brush, and I'm just kind of trying not to put a whole lot of this mess on there. But I'm just kind of soaking this a little bit, just going to let it soak. I'm doing a little bit different tact. So I'm trying not to...
I could just listen to that all day. I think this, we could call this good. Call this done.
So I'm just kind of letting it soak in a little bit. Scrub it down a little bit. Let me go pause that. It is annoying when you're trying to work. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Just letting this Simple Green do its thing. If it'll clean tube sockets, you spray this on one of them ceramic tube sockets for these broadcast tubes, and just let it sit on there. Come back in about an hour, it will be completely clean. Dangest thing I ever saw. I pulled a old Harris FM20 apart because tube socket was arcing, and it was super nasty. So they're not. You don't just go pulling them. You have to take pictures and measurements because everything in there has a purpose and it has a place. And you don't want to just go willy-nilly in there and just slap it out. You have to be very careful. But anyhow, besides the point, I guess. Pull that sucker out and it was nasty. So I had some Simple Green. I just sprayed that whole big old socket down. Well, these sockets ain't your little... These sockets I ain't talking about like one of these. It's a ceramic socket. About as big around as... bigger around than that right there. And it's designed for a ceramic tube, which doesn't have any pins. It's got rings around it, and it's got elevated section in it with silver coated finger stocks around it. It's made for broadcast tubes or high powered tubes. Anyhow, I sprayed this Simple Green on it and left it for about an hour. I had to go to town to pick up some stuff to rinse it off with and clean it. So when I came back, that thing was sparkling like a new dime. I've never thought it would do that. So I found a new method to clean them things, even though you had to pull it out, but couldn't just spray a contact cleaner in them. Because I'm telling you, when those high-powered tubes has a blower in the bottom of it, and they blow. There's forced air goes through there, and it's been years since the thing has actually been the whole thing has been cleaned. So that meant I had to pull the fan out, clean the blades. When I was doing all this stuff, I had to pull the fan out, clean all the blades. I had to take it to the car wash, clean that. I had to get the stuff to wash all the cleaning contaminants off, not only the squirrel cage fan, but also the tube socket. But when I got done, that thing looked brand new, and it has not given me any more troubles as far as arcing. I did have arcing issue a few years later, but it was an insulator that had gone bad, and it probably had a carbon trace on it. Most of this stuff is porcelain, and it's made by iMac. And anyway, this stuff is porcelain, and it had a carbon trace on it, and it was shorting out. It's a lot of high voltage in there. It's 9,000 volts on the plate, about 2,000 volts on the screen grid. A lot of stuff looking for a ground other than the tube where it's supposed to be going through. But so I've become a believer in simple green. I like Oshango. I don't know what his background is. I think he was in the military, by the sounds of it. He was in the service of some kind. I don't know what his capacity was. But he's pretty sharp. It's like Bob Anderson. He's I mean, I was in TV for 8 years, and these people run circles around me. But I was in TV back in, like I said before, I was in radio and TV back in the late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, we didn't have a lot of, it wasn't a big city, it was a little country town, Winfield, Louisiana. So we didn't have a whole lot of modern stuff come through there. And my boss never really took the time to show me the tricks of the trade. He just kind of left me to my own devices. So, you know, before the internet and YouTube and all that other mess, I learned what I learned just because what I had to learn. I didn't know a lot of tricks and stuff that I'm finding out now by watching people like Shango and stuff and doing research on YouTube and things. So it just goes to show, you know, of course, you know, after I left radio and TV repair, I never got back into consumer electronics. I became a field engineer here for Metrocall Wireless, which is a paging company, or was a paging company. It's oh, I forgot who they are now, but they're still around. They still do paging, 900 megahertz. They have some VHF paging. 157.740 is their, but the only people that use the pagers is honestly is hospitals, which, you know, if they have you know, because their doctors and stuff like that and support personnel are not always at the hospital, so they need some kind of wide area paging. So that's where the paging companies come in. But now, with text messaging and all that, shoot, they could do all that with group text. So, I'm gonna drop my, hang on. I dropped my Duma flicky. I'm not gonna be a hero on cleaning this. I just want to make it shine. It's still got some of these dots on here, and I could go in there with, some, so there's a different kind of rub and cleaner that you use for mags. I think it's Meguiar's mag and aluminum polish. I've seen a fella on YouTube use this stuff. It works pretty good. I just don't want to do that. I just want this thing to look like I tried. That's a lot better already. It's got some stains on it. I'm not exactly sure what these stains are. I would have to scrub a lot deeper. To get these out. I'm just not going to. I'm going to go back here and clean these sockets here a little bit more. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to spray some of this stuff with electrical cleaner. Speaking of electrical cleaner, I got me a new can. I didn't get the blue can of the contact cleaner, but I did get this right here today at an auto parts store. This crap was $14 a can. 14 bucks. That's amazing. I don't want to clean these tube sockets. Sorry for the shaky cam, but I'm doing this with one hand. So you get a close-up of whatever this is I'm doing. I can get that spout in there. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna clean this whole thing. I like this stuff because it's fast drying. Clean, throw that in the foils there. Right in the face. Yeah. I'm a dangerous sucker sometimes. I've done that to clean some of that residue off here. I think it's fine. Yeah, this needs a little bit more attention right here. Get all that off there. Honestly, if I could get away with it, I would dunk this whole thing in some kind of a bath. If I had a Meyer ultrasonic big enough, I might do that. Just let that sucker dry for about a year. That's a lot better. I still got to clean these cans right here. That is a lot better, y'all. I still have the tuner, like I said a few minutes ago, and the tuner bracket, which is right there. I still got all that to clean, but I wanted the tuner out of the way so I could get in here and do that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is gonna work on these things right here. So let's go ahead and pre-coat that. Let me recharge my solution here. I'm just going to kind of let it sit. This is aluminium. Not going to get crazy with it. I really don't want a whole lot of this liquid to get inside these cans. Screw up stuff and get all. Here I am coating it. Hopefully it don't go too far. Get back down in there a little bit. Clean that socket one more time. I tell you can put as much work into these things, and I'm probably really loud in this camera because it's right here, point blank range. You can put as much work into these things as you've got time. You know, you could spend a lot of time. Squeeze this out because you don't want a whole lot of mess going on there. Try to limit how much you put on there.